Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, normally on YouTube with other content creators, I have a tendency to try and stay away clear from everything. I dabbled in it a few, during lockdown, and it doesn't work, and it causes unnecessary shit. So it's not worth it. It just really isn't. I let them be them, and just let them get on with it. I don't even go on people's videos anymore and downvote stuff or even put any harsh comments because there's no point. Because if I don't agree with them, I don't agree with them, and that's absolutely fine. Unless, of course, there's something specifically that I don't agree with, and then I will engage, but in a constructive manner, not in a confrontational manner, because it's not worth it. Life's too short. But then again, every now and again, some people push me to the limit where I've got to say something, where somebody who has been consistently and continually toxic, who white knights, gaslights, gatekeeps, all things Doctor Who, continues to be like thrush, an irritating, I'm not going to say the word, I'd have to beep it out, you know what I mean. And the gentleman I'm talking about in particular is, of course, Mr Tardis, or at Trilbury Reviews. So initially, this thing poked my interest. There's a discussion at the Who shop, wonderful place. Sophia Miles will be joining us for a signing on Saturday the 9th of December between 12 and 3 p.m. Sophia played Madame Pompadour in Series 2, story Girl in the Fireplace. And if you follow my channel, you're fully aware that I've actually had the privilege of having a chat with Sophia, and she is a wonderful human being. So he puts, oh dear. Well, if you don't like it, don't go. You don't even have to comment on it, do you? But no, of course, you have to because... And somebody goes, why? And then he puts this one down. We're breaking down Sophia Miles' ludicrous Twitter defence of Noel Clarke, which, of course, this particular piece of dirt actually immediately thinks is guilty. Well, of course he does, because he hasn't got a brain, because he's a grifter. And he is a grifter. Many times he's actually requested that his viewers give him money to fix cars and such things, because that's what your viewers are there for, isn't it? To bail you out because you can't be arsed. Any case. So, then there was a comment which was said on a thing, which I'm going to bring up here. And it says, those saying the police decided not to investigate Noel Clarke, here's some additional context. The institution who made the call was the Met Police, who are currently in the midst of several high-profile scandals regarding its own officers and employers involving sexual harassment, abuse and misconduct. The institution in charge of letting Clarke off the hook isn't an institution that should be putting faith in at the moment. Remember, the police's main job is to protect the powerful and the influential. Except, of course, the police decided not to investigate Noel Clarke because there was nothing to investigate. So you're now saying it's a conspiracy theory that Noel Clarke got away with it in your eyes because the police were too busy doing something else. And they were there to protect the powerful and the influential. So by not charging him with anything, Noel Clarke carried on with his career and his life and his... Yeah, exactly. You brain-dead idiot. It didn't protect him at all. He has no career. His life was destroyed. He's had no income for years now, based on lies and based on basically idiots like you who believe anything they read because we haven't got the brain power to think of anything else. So Mr Tardis now believes that Noel Clarke never get charged by the police because it was all conspiracy theory. Well, just when you think that, maybe it can't get any worse. This particular piece of POS comes up with this one. Now, this is good because this really does tick a lot of boxes. But it's interesting to see how this plays out over the next few months. The original Guardian article said 20 women had come forward to accuse Noel Clarke of his behaviour. Well, actually, no. And he went, I didn't realise another 10 had come forward since. No. Now, the 10 who come forward since was the other article that actually reduced the number from 20 to 10. So learn to read, brain dead boy. And they weren't all women. At least 3 of them were men. But apart from that, so he goes on there and he says, and of course, because Guardian News have put Noel Clarke legal action against Guardian suffers High Court setback. Well, as you've watched in the previous Noel Clarke video, it actually turns out that it wasn't really a setback, was it? Because in reality, Noel's well within his rights to sue the Guardian News for defamation of character. Now, this also means certain people who say certain things on the internet should really be very, very careful now, because if he's going to sue the Guardian for defamation, so in any case, he then comes up, he goes, also, it's interesting to look at the accounts of people who defend Noel Clarke, no questions asked. I defend Noel Clarke. I asked plenty of questions. I got the answers that I was looking for. Person, false accusations, sexual misconduct are terrible, and those who do them should be punished. Yes, they should do. Also, people who make false accusations about knowing facts when there aren't any should also be punished. Don't you think? Same person, all gays are groomers. No joke, I see this pattern. No joke, you're an idiot. No, not all gays are groomers, you homophobe. Because that's what you would call somebody who'd said that. And transphobe and anything else. Basically what you're saying is every single gay person is a groomer, when in reality, that's what no one's saying at all. What we're actually mentioning is certain men who pretend to be women are groomers. But of course you won't say that because you'll rather be more homophobic than you would be transphobic. Isn't that right, Mr Tardis? You see, the thing is, we all say things online and we all say things on social media. But the thing is, to first try and defend yourself by misquoting what actually happened and not looking at any facts whatsoever and believing that the Guardian News on that day had put Noel Clarke had suffered a setback when in fact the judge basically said to the Guardian, you fucked up, you've got to pay up, he can sue your ass and there's no reason why he can't, and then go out and say that all gay people are groomers. Oh, that was such a classic move, wasn't it? But this is to be expected from Mr Tardis. And the problem is, sadly and unfortunately, by me doing this, I'm sure he'll have a go and pretend he's all hard again behind the keyboard, behind the screen as usual. But the simple truth of the matter is, when it all boils down to it, it's not the first time he's done it. He's done pro-Hamas supporting tweets. He's horrible. But I guess he's going to give him the attention that he clearly so desperately craves. But I'm not going to sit here and have you mercilessly attack somebody who I class as a friend and I've had the time and the privilege and the honour to speak to and have some interaction with, based on the fact that you don't like her, like most people who comment, you stupid people who follow you, who go, oh yeah, she's disgusting. When they read out her name, the silence was satisfying. Bullshit, never happened. The simple truth of the matter is, Mr Tardis, as much as you think you're important, as much as many other people think they're important, where in reality, unlike you, I know I'm not important. I know I'm just me, and what I say doesn't have much bearing on the world, ever. But at least I'm not saying things that can get me defamed. I'm also not quoting things that aren't simply true, and I'm also not calling every gay person a groomer, like you just did. You see, the thing is, you may seem to think that because you are who you are and you've got so many followers and people on YouTube or whatever, that makes you something very, very important in the world. It doesn't. You are as much as a nobody in the world as I am, as anyone else is. Because I know it's very hard for a lot of people, especially those people on Twitter, X or whatever it's going to be called this week or next week. You all really think that your opinions are important. But the thing is, what I say is my opinion. I don't expect it to change the world, because that's not what I'm there for. It's just expressing an opinion. But I also have to be very careful what I say. And sometimes I make mistakes because I'm human. But I don't say things like all gays are groomers. In fact, I've never even said all trans people are groomers. In fact, I know several trans people. And they're wonderful people. But what it means is, are you saying all gays are groomers? That's not a good thing to say. Because they're not. Just as all white people aren't racist. Just like all black people aren't racist. Just like all trans people aren't horrible people and groomers. Because they're not. It's small pockets, extremists, idiots, morons, people who call all gays groomers, who seem to think they know better than the police because accusing the Met Police of a conspiracy theory to protect the rich and the famous and the influential when Noel Clarke has nothing. You see, you got to use your brain sometimes. You got to think of these things. And normally, I'm sure eventually there will be a reply video of which I'll pay absolutely no fucking attention to whatsoever. Because, as I said, I don't do this very often. I do it normally to sort of say, look, have a word with yourself, because what you're doing is stupid. You'll probably call me everything under the sun, and I'm sure you'll go through all my Facebook and Twitter and everything else and drag out something and call me an alt-right terrorist or whatever. I mean, knock yourself out. The difference is between you and me is I know who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am, and I don't give a shit about what other people think. Because if you're childish enough to get angry and upset about opinions, then there's something wrong with you. Now, see, the thing is, it is your opinion, but you can't say things like that. You can't attack people like Sophia Miles because she defended somebody she classes as a friend, just as I am now defending her because I class her as a friend. That's what friends are doing. I mean, I know you probably haven't actually got any, because if you did, you'd understand the principle of friendship. I mean, you might have a few attack dogs on Twitter who'll say whatever. They'll usually have a trans flag or a European flag or something else, or pronouns in their bios, whatever. But they're nothing. Just as you are. But what you're doing is going out on Twitter and actually saying very libelous things. Especially against a man who's now been told that, yes, what was said to you was wrong and you can sue. A lot of people at the moment now, the position that Noel is in, yeah? TikTok. With that, I'm going to bring this one to a close. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. There you are. Links are always down below. Don't forget there is a comment section down below. Please feel free to use it. You let me know what you think. Obviously, if you're going to be insulting, racist, sexist, or whatever, or just being a complete knobhead, bye. Yeah, I'm not even going to pay any attention to it. I look forward to the potential of a response video. I won't care because I won't watch it because I'm not interested. But simply, as I bring it to a close, Mr. Tardis, grow up. Stop thinking you're something special, because you're not. Because none of us are. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a great day. Hope everything's working fine. And I hope you all stay safe and well. Until the next one, I am going to love you and leave you.